Marvel's Spider-Man 2 is an open-world action-adventure game developed by Insomniac Games, published by Sony Interactive Entertainment, and released on October 20th of 2023. With the success of Insomniac's Spider-Man 2018 and Miles Morales from 2020, another Spider-Man game that takes the best parts of both of these successful releases was imminent. Swinging around and fighting crime can only be so much fun though after doing it so many times in the same city, so I was hesitant about how much fun I could have putting on the Spidey mask for another time. Turns out, I actually had trouble taking the mask off.
Not on my watch! Stick to the plan! I gotta get. Whose idea was it to have a gun club in the city?
Spider-Man 2 sees Peter and Miles a little older, taking place 10 months after Spider-Man Miles Morales. Peter Parker is trying his hardest to focus on his new job of being a physics teacher, in which he is teaching Miles' class. After having to prioritize his job as the web-slinging friendly neighborhood Spider-Man over his teaching job that will actually help him pay off his rent, things don't work out as he had hoped for. Peter and his girlfriend MJ are relieved after their old friend Harry Osborn shows up looking better than ever after being heavily affected with a deadly illness. This new revelation is only the beginning, and while Harry offers up Peter a deal of a lifetime, Miles also struggles interloping his responsibilities of being Miles and Spider-Man while also dealing with erupting past traumas.
Thanks a million, kid! But I saved you. Really?
Spider-Man 2's story is told beautifully and has classic themes of second chances, redemption, balance, and bonds. There are sincere, heartfelt, and genuine messages and believable, meaningful moments between the storylines of the Spider-Man, and even side quests intertwine in thoughtful ways. The wide range of characters and enemies you'll collide with broaden the story and outlook of the characters' thoughts and decisions, which expands the narrative in clever ways that firmly tie up to an ultimate conclusion. I never had a problem with the story beats or arcs of the storyline, and I heavily enjoyed my adventure with the Spider-Man. With many Spider-Man games out there, and with 2 done by Insomniac already, how can you make another Spider-Man game without treading over already charted territory to avoid the game being bland and boring? I wondered about this going into Spider-Man 2, and it is able to pull it off with flying colors. Spider-Man 2 adds web wings. While zipping and swinging through New York City, at any time you can open up your web wings and soar through the open breeze. This new traversal mechanic also brings a couple other new features to use with. The wind tunnels, which helps you fly along a particular path at high speeds, and air vents, which helps you stay aloft to cover even more ground. The inclusion of the web wings makes traversal even more fluid and constant than it already was just swinging from place to place. Now you can be more strategic with your skills as being Spider-Man, as you definitely build up speed by using new and old web slinging techniques and activating your web wings at a certain time that will shoot you through the sky at an alarming pace, reaching any sort of crime in almost an instant. Not as fast as the new fast travel system though. After unlocking fast travel for a district, you can instantly warp to any location. Spider-Man 2 is a technical marvel in free roaming and being able to play as a superhero.
What happened to the roof team?
Get it together. The Flame needs us.
The combat has been streamlined into something easier to control and accomplish, while still also giving you full reign of Spider-Man's gadgets and abilities. I played this on PlayStation 5, and by default your abilities are mapped to L1, and your gadgets are mapped to R1. After holding down L1 or R1, you can use one of the 4 face buttons to activate whatever you have equipped to that slot. The gadget wheel is gone, and this new interface feels and plays out a lot better without slowing down the fast-paced action. You gain a variety of new abilities and gadgets by playing through the game, and through the use of your abilities, gadgets, and plethora of skills, you have multiple ways to take down your foes. Skills are unlocked by leveling up and spending skill points on the skill trees. Peter and Miles both have separate skill trees for their own individual abilities and styles of play, as well as them both sharing a skill tree for perks of simply being a Spider-Man. There's a lot of important and rewarding skills to unlock, and you have a little bit of freedom to customize Peter and Miles depending on how you want to play. You can upgrade Miles' camouflage a bit to function in a more prominent way, or maybe you will want to upgrade his Venom abilities more to be able to affect more enemies. You can upgrade both of the Spider-Man's ability in combat by gaining a skill to bounce enemies on the ground when you grab them, or being able to disarm them, or you can upgrade their gadgets to resupply more quickly, possibly giving you some breathing room or the edge during a tough situation. Gadgets and powers are fun, fast, and easy to use, and no matter which way you swing it, Spider-Man packs a punch and kick, and you always feel powerful. While enemies can be a hassle, it never really is a problem to take on waves and waves, as you can zip through the air and use your Spider-Man skills to take them down. The epic boss battles are another story. The bosses in this game are challenging. Even while playing on the normal difficulty setting, I pulled my hair out at some points. You really have to make use of your abilities, skills, and gadgets to make it through these gauntlets. Spider-Man can use his Spidey sense to get out of the way of danger, and it is very important to recognize his different senses in cases like a boss fight. When the sense is the normal white color, that means something is coming. Red means you can either dodge it or parry it, and blue means it can only be dodged. Learning how to overcome attacks and creating tactics to override enemies and bosses' movesets adds another challenging layer to the combat that is satisfying when pulled off successfully.
Light the fires.
As Spider-Man, you come across people that need help or people that just simply need a beating. Crimes will often pop up that need your help in dissolving. Things from thugs breaking into a shop or a runaway vehicle that needs to be stopped are no problem for Spider-Man. Side quests will unlock naturally as you progress through the game, and these vary from tracking down mechanical spy bird bots to helping a citizen take pictures. Completing quests within the city districts gives you a fast travel point and unlocks tokens for you to unlock new outfits or upgrade gadgets. I liked this addition because it feels like the more you do for the city, the more the city does for you. While fighting and webbing up criminals is always fun, it's also fun to approach Spider-Man in a different way, like simply sitting down and listening to someone that just needs to talk. Spider-Man is someone that helps in more ways than just punching things. He is a person just like everyone else, and his compassion and emotion that shines through by helping people any way he can is what truly makes him a hero. As heroic as Spider-Man is though, I did have some issues with the game design-wise. While the side content is nice, it's uninventive and lame. With how big the city is, it feels like there is not enough to do. And what's there makes the city feel even smaller. You run into the same types of crimes over and over, and the quests are never exciting. This is Spider-Man we are playing as here. I really don't mind the extra side quests, but I was unsatisfied with them overall. I feel like there should be more. I wouldn't even mind catching balloons and delivering pizza again. There needs to be another layer of activity in the city. Another downside I experienced is that the city feels less alive in a way. Since you are moving so fast, you don't have time to really appreciate anything. The city in the last games almost felt like its own character, with decorations and sights to see. Now it's more like a playground, and you are just moving from one thing to the next, and it's easy to take everything for granted. Especially with the wind tunnels and fast gameplay. I also had one crash and some graphical hiccups, but they weren't anything to tout about. You're sure to run into some weird crowd happenings with the city dwellers, but it's to be expected in a large game like this.
All right, buddy. One quick stop at Feast, and then we'll get you back home.
The music and sound design are great, like always, with web thwips and body-bashing sounds sounding just right, and musical cues hitting at the perfect moment. The mechanical zips of activating a gadget and the swarm of power that surges into an enemy after using an ability never gets old. The music during cutscenes of the story is very noticeable and fills the tale with emotional moments, making it so much more engaging. The performances are all top-notch, and it is highlighted by how beautifully the game looks graphically. Differences between the dialogue had while swinging and not swinging is here again, and shows you how much work had to go into this game for it to be fully realized.
Go. Please.
Harry.
I said to leave!
Being Spider-Man is simply a pleasure. Spider-Man 2 has really fun and intricate gameplay that is addicting and makes you want to keep coming back to play. Spider-Man 2 gives you more flexibility and control, which gives you more responsibility of the character's actions. Playing as Spider-Man feels better than it ever has before by having a more simplified way of using things, but more intricate styles of play that open up a wide array of possibilities in traversal and combat. The story and characters are exceptional, and the graphics, music, and sound design are all of high quality. It seems to still be a tricky feat to fully explore and realize the role Spider-Man can play though, with an ever-shrinking city and a low quantity of captivating side activities. Spider-Man 2 still rocks hard with intuitive gameplay and a fun atmosphere that you will want to keep swinging back to.
This good?
Yeah, and when you jump, angle left so I get your silhouette.
I give Marvel's Spider-Man 2 an 8.5 out of 10.
Ready, set, jump! Go, Spidey!